Hello guys, and in today's video what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be ranking the drift cars from the newest update on GTA Online. I'm going to be ranking them while also giving my thoughts on the cars, just because I think this will be a little bit fun. Hope you guys enjoy, and let's see what I could do here. So starting out in the 5th slot, we have the Extreme. The Extreme can be purchased from Legendary Motorsport for $2.8 million, so it is pretty pricey, not gonna lie. What you get is an electric supercar, which means you gotta use a lot of handbrake to get this thing sideways. Obviously, you don't have any clutch kicks in the car, even using the all-wheel drive method, so in this case, you gotta keep spamming that handbrake. Obviously, since this thing is an electric car, it has a lot of acceleration and a lot of speed, which really does help it. But you got to be careful when you're getting the car to angle and trying to keep angle, because it's an electric car. So while trying to get this thing sideways in the first place, you're also trying to keep the angle, and that's just gonna it becomes a problem pretty quickly, is basically what I'm trying to say. But it still is a fun car, and it switches things up a little bit. I just couldn't really put this car any higher because it is an electric car. But what I will say is the car's hitbox does get changed if you have any custom camera mirrors. So make sure you either are running stock or the mirrors that actually are on the car. So basically the ones or if you want to deal with it, you just put the cameras on. Because honestly, you can do some cool stunts with it, and I think that's kind of what makes this thing a little bit cool, at least. Because it is kind of fun to do it, not gonna lie. In the 4th place, we have the Sentinel XS4. This car can be purchased in Southern San Andreas Super Autos for $1.4 million, so it's one of the cheaper cars on this list. I feel like this car has a good amount of power, it can handle angle pretty well, and it has a pretty decent clutch kick to it, just like the rest of the cars, honestly, besides the electric car. But I do need to say that this thing in higher speed sections just doesn't really handle itself too well, especially when it's not on low grips. But when you add low grips to the car, it makes it a little bit too slippery. It just already has less traction, and then when you add that on, it just kind of makes this thing on ice, which honestly has some benefits and obviously doesn't really help the car very much as well. It's still clutch kickable on low grip tires, at least to me, but it might work in your favor as well in those high speed sections, just having the car look a little bit more slipperier, which I think probably helps. But overall, I would say drift this car without low grips, because it already has like the traction you really need, at least in those slower sections, which is where this thing likes to live. Overall, this thing is pretty fun, and it's fun to just rip around in slower sections, but I think the next car actually has more car for even less price. And that is the GT 750 in 3rd place. This car can be purchased from Legendary Motorsports for a price of $1.2 million, so it's the cheapest car in this list by far. And for the price of this car, you get a lot of value out of it. You get a lot of car for the money, which is super sick. This thing is just very smooth, very, very good in low sections. Struggles a little bit in higher sections, but it's definitely way less than the previous car. And I think it just kind of suffers a little bit because it is in the sports classics class, so it doesn't have that speed of the sports car or even the supercars, but it still does pretty well. I just feel like it needs a little more power to it, but overall it's a very, very solid car. The car that I have in 2nd place is the Ludvia. I don't know how to pronounce this car, I'm sorry, but it is very, very cool. You can purchase this car Legendary Motorsports for $2.6 million. So this thing was on low grips because it just needs it. But honestly, it has a lot of speed. It's got a great clutch kick like every other car. And it's an all well-rounder, honestly. It works in the slow sections, it works in the high speed sections, and it holds a good amount of angle fairly well. And overall, it is a very cool looking car, I might as well say. I'm not the hugest fan of cars without the roof or convertibles, but this car I actually quite like and quite enjoy, and it's just overall fun to drift. So, I think it's a solid car. Maybe not for the $2.6 million. So if you're thinking about it, I would say probably spending money on something else. But if you do have the money lying around, it is a fairly fun car to try. And last but not least, in my number one spot, we have the FMJ Mark V. This thing will be able to be purchased from Legendary Motorsports for the price of $2.9 million. This car also has HSW, which makes it even faster, but already you're getting a very, very solid car, and with HSW it just makes it quicker, but all the same stuff still applies. This thing is on low grips, so this thing definitely needs it, but surprisingly, this thing is a super good drift car. It's very, very smooth in low sections, and honestly, at high speeds it does pretty well too. I have to say it's a little wobbly in the higher speed sections. It just kind of wants to, swerve around a little bit, like the Banshee 900R. It just kind of does that, but honestly, getting used to that, it's still super fun, and it just still is able to hold its angle pretty well. And overall, this car is a very, very good car that really did surprise me, and it's enjoyable to drift, so there's not much to say to that. But I would not pay the almost $3 million for this to be a drift car, but again, it's there if you guys want to try it. Alright guys, so that's where the video would have ended, but I've actually acquired some of the unreleased vehicles, and these can also be drifted on low grips, so I thought why not throw it into this video as well. I'm going to put them into their own list, just so that way it makes sense, but I will at the end kind of put them all together and show you what I think of every car in this video. Starting out in third place, we have the Italy Classic. This car will be able to be purchased on Legendary Motorsports for a price of $2 million. Italy is actually a really good drift car. It has a decent amount of power and a great clutch kick that really does help it. And honestly, this thing drifts very, very well. It's very smooth. It's just one of those cars that gets around, but honestly, I think the other cars on this list here is a little bit better than this thing. But it's a great car, it's a cool looking car, and it's definitely an option to be a drifter. Next up, in the second spot, we have the Astral. This car will be purchased from Legendary Motorsports for a price of $1.4 billion, which is very, very good actually. The Astral has a very, very good amount of power, especially because it has HSW, which provides way more power than you probably need, but it is super fun. The car has a nice clutch kick, which also really helps it, and it can hold angle very well. Honestly, this thing is a very nice looking car, and I actually quite enjoy this thing the more that I drive it. And I think it is just a very good drift car. But of course, in the number one spot, I had to give it to the K-Truck, or the Kitoro. This thing will be purchasable from Southern San Andreas Super Autos for a price of $800,000. $810,000 to be specific. The K-Tora is actually insanely good at drifting. I had a real great time. If you guys haven't seen the previous video, that's where I showed this thing off, and it is very good. Granted, the K-Truck is a little bit slow because it's a K-Truck, but besides that, it makes up in every other department. This thing is super smooth, one of the smoothest cars I've ever drifted on low grips. Not only holds angle very well, it also has great response for everything. For the steering inputs, basically anything you want to throw at it, it just does great. And for the price of this thing, you cannot beat that price for any other car. And honestly, I think it is just one of the best cars, even for beginners. And it also has the most customization of this update, let's be real. So it's just overall a great car. And I think it is one of the better cars on this list. So this will be my overall order. We're going to start from 8 and go up to 1, because there is 8 total cars on this list. Starting out in 8th, we have the Extreme. In 7th, we have the Sentinel. In 6th, we have the GT750. In 5th, we have the Italian Classic. In fourth, we have the Luvia. Still can't pronounce the name, by the way. Third, we have the Astral. In second, I have the FMJ. And in the first, we have the K-Tora or the K-Truck. So that's my overall list. I hope you guys like it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick little list here, and basically what I thought about each car. Honestly, all these cars are good and all these cars are fun. So if you don't like my ranking, it is what it is. Everyone has their own opinion, and honestly, there's no right or wrong answer to which car you prefer, and we all have different tastes in cars and stuff. But I'm hoping that you guys like this list. This video was definitely different and fun to make at the same time. Usually I'm like trying to do it all in one sitting, whereas this one's more relaxed, I feel like. But that's enough talking about video stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider the like button, hitting that subscribe button, and hitting the notification bell to know when I upload and save the date. That's a lot of stuff. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out.